Morning guys, I'm back at home. So I've just had all my dogs out and now I'm away to have my morning coffee. The terrier is currently huffing because, I'll just show you. As you might remember, we bought these crates for everybody in the house. And Thor, my Labrador, who's got the 2 missing toes from a previous injury, he has been in the house recently, so he's been using the big one because the terrier, who is currently sulking in here like an advert for abused dogs. So Thor was in there and Betty is just easily able to put in a puppy cage and just sort of pop there. But now Thor is back out. I just didn't want him with the cold weather. It's just a bit fragile, like where he lost his 2 toes. And then he'd sort of torn it on a day's work. And with me being away and also with the really cold weather, I didn't really want him to be like at it in the kennel. So I just brought him in. So he's been in here and Betty was in her puppy crate. And she's been fine. So whenever I've been out working or Chris has taken them, she's been like inside one of them. So like May's usually out, so should be in May's. Not been an issue. You can see May's got a bit of fluff because, again, I don't know if you remember, but when we got the first one, we give it to May and she destroyed it, like the blanket. So hers is like currently stuffed back in and she's been fine. Like why she did it initially, I do not know. Maybe just she does scrat her bed up a bit, like what Betty is doing now, but she's being pathetic because I've literally just chucked her in some puppy beds. That is Betty's bed because that is why I bother buying them nice things. I do not know. Hoss loves it. Hoss appreciates it. You're the only one, aren't you, Chaos? You're the only one. And I bought them like new bubble beds as well, which to be fair is fine. Like they've not done anything to that. I call them bubble beds. They're actually called donut beds. I don't know why I call them bubble beds. Betty currently huffing because I keep the puppy blankets up there. The cedar is here just behind me, so I just keep the puppy beds. I want to have a tidy up of this and get it looking nice. At the moment we've just chucked it on, but we'd like a proper setup. So we've done the main bits, we've done the dogs. And anyone who is wanting to know, these are from Lords and Labradors and they are amazing. So yeah, Hoss is the only one that's been a good girl. The Chaos. Oh, she's all soggy. It's a wet day. It's a wet day for old Chaos. Yes. Hoss has been a good girl. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's not good. Imagine how Ada feels. Oh, I got some sleepies. Ugh, get rid of that. Ugh. Dredgy. Doggy doggy. Oh dear, thanks for that. So Chris has obviously been working. I've been really busy while I've been away. But he does the dogs. He does the dogs to a good standard, but there's little things that like I do daily. So there's things that I need to get on top of. Not that he's not done anything major, but I just want to give the kennels like a proper good tidy up. I mean, I do that all the time, every week anyway. Like I give them a real good clean, like a thorough clean, which obviously I didn't expect Chris to do because they don't need to be done. I just like to do that. Like they still get cleaned every day, but I give them like a proper thorough clean about once or twice a week. It sounds really backward. I was thinking about this when I was walking them because I was going to say this to you guys, but it is a wet day. It's a rainy day, as you can tell by the state of Chaos. And it actually is a better day for cleaning, I find, because I feel like the rain helps like get all the hair out. I mean, obviously I put water down and disinfectant down anyway, but it just helps. It also helps if it's not too windy, because if it's a dry day, so this is again where the wet comes in handy. So when I brush and clean out the insides, when I brush them, so I dry brush the insides rather than especially in this weather, I don't want the insides of the boxes any wetter than they need to be, because obviously the dogs are in there, that's their cozy bit. So I like brush the hair and the dried dirt that's maybe come off under the mats and under the beds and whatever. And then if it's a dry day and there's a bit of wind, it just blows back in. So it does my head in. So if it's a wet day, it just assists. That's maybe like an example of why it helps. Very particular about my kennels and the dogs and the house as well. So I'm gonna have like house bits to tidy up on today, ready for Christmas as well. So I'd normally do a big clean before Christmas because, well, it's Christmas. So I'm now away to go and do all the dogs, give them a good thorough clean, get on top of everything. Again, just after my holiday, Chris does do everything anyway, but I just like to do all the extra bits today. Because I've got a week off, I just want to do a bit of extra. Also going to train my pups today. Because again, I'm not working, I've not got anybody else's dogs to train, so that's really, really good. Gonna put that time that I would normally be spending on other people's dogs into my dogs, which is nice. Then I need to unpack, I need to get the house sorted. We've got a very social week, so that's good. Well, I do. Chris will join me when he can. Yeah, so I want the house to be nice and clean, everything to be fresh. I also want to nip into town today and just pick up some bits, because when we do visit people, I want to just grab some drinks and desserts and things to take. So I've just got on top of dog beds. So we have like a dog room here. So this is like a spare room where the washing goes, and then when we have a litter, the litter is in there. So it's got like so that's obviously the flooring, and then we've got like an additional lino underneath that sits under the welcome box, and then we put like a puppy pen around it. And then there's my wild nook, my wild nook gun dogs, little wooden, I don't know what you would call it, but Mum bought me that. And then there is my Life is Better in Wellies. That was, Rose got that for me a while ago now, because obviously on Instagram I've been better in wellies for, I don't even know. That's actually probably quite scary, maybe like whenever I set it up. So the name came from, just if anyone was interested, ages and ages ago, like I must have been about 17, my nan and my mum bought me a little ornament when I lived in Scotland from a little shop in Portlethin. It was like a little welly, and it had on it, "Life is always better in wellies." And I just really liked it. And I was like, oh, that's so me. And then when I set up Instagram, that's where Better in Wellies came from. And then obviously I've carried it on to YouTube because, well, I didn't want a different name. So yeah, that's where that had come from. But I've got my little sign that says it. Yeah, dog wash is like manically on the go at the moment because it's so miserable outside all the time. At the moment, beds are getting wet. So this is also why I pile in a lot of beds. So I have like my like thick vet bed, then like a topper and a blanket, because then you usually don't have to change a lot. Like one of them will hold the wet, and then if they are wet and they're going in and out of the kennel, you just take a blanket out or something rather than the whole lot. Or like the main bed isn't wet, because then that'll hold the wet the most. Technology is already doing my head in today. I've had an argument with my phone already because it isn't saving I pay for like a big amount of storage on iCloud, but it isn't saving my videos to iCloud. It's still saving them on my phone. But then I think it is saving them to iCloud, sorry. But then once my phone, it's saving them to my phone as well. And then when my phone is capped out, it's like, no, we're not gonna. I honestly don't know. But this is what happened when I originally started to do a YouTube back in, I think it was like March or April, before we went on honeymoon. So we went on honeymoon in the May. And originally I went to set it up before then, and when I tried to video it, when I tried to video it, it wouldn't save, so I ended up just giving up because it was just annoying me. Sorry, Chris came in and interrupted there. Yeah, when I set it up in March, and it just wouldn't let me record. It was telling me that I didn't have enough storage, so I ended up giving up because at that moment in time I just couldn't be bothered. And I'm really annoyed now because, especially after going away and videoing some travel videos, by the way, it's raining and I've done my hair all nice, and so the hair is going away. Because I'm going to go into town later, so I don't want it being ruined, being pointless. When I set it up, I'm now gutted that I gave up on it, because now I don't have any like landscape footage of our honeymoon in Canada and Alaska, and now I've just done the travel in Europe doing the Christmas markets. If you haven't seen those, they will be the videos, 4 videos before this one, and that's where I've been in case you have missed them or are new here. Something a bit different in the previous 4 videos was me on a Christmas cruise with my mum. Anyway, I'm annoyed because I feel like the Canada and Alaska trip that me and Chris did for our honeymoon was very us. And I think a lot of my, some of my subscribers are like here for like the country life and like the dogs, and probably not the Christmas cruise, kind of European Christmas markets, but maybe some of you did enjoy it. But either way, I feel like you guys probably would have loved that, and I would have loved to have watched that back as well as a YouTube video, so I'm really gutted. But it's also why I'm going to continue to vlog any travel that I do, because I love travel and I love like storing memories. I feel like Instagram was very much something that I loved and got really into because it was a fantastic way to look back on memories. I feel like going with the digital way, vlogging is brilliant. Anyway, waffling. I'm in a very, very waffly mood today, so I apologise. Going to take little Cedar out with me. Cedar! She can come out while we do the doggies. Come on, Cedie. It's very, very wet and miserable. Well, it's not terrible. Look at that idiot. Blooming golden retriever. That's my pile of beds that I need to get through. Oh, it just looks so dull. So I've already done the insides while my phone decided it needed to back up again. I think I figured it out, but I don't know. But now I'm going to do the outsides of the kennels. There's still quite a bit of tidying up to do at this place. So we've not been here a year yet. And obviously, as you know, when you move to a new place, you need to figure out what you like and what needs work and what doesn't. And there's quite a bit that we want to do here. Quite a bit that we want to do to it. So sometimes in days like this I come out and I'm really frustrated because I'm like, ugh, it looks a mess, but it's good because there's lots of potential and we have lots of ideas of what we want to do, so it's fine. I feel like I'm in one of those moods where I'm like, I just want the whole thing to look exactly how I want it to look, but these things take time and that's fine. Just got little CD running around. The beds, swept them all out, and then I have also filled up, so I've got water there. Hey, do not jump up. A water and then a disinfectant, so I'm just refilling them. So I set the water one away while I was on the phone, and then it took me about an hour and a half, so that was overflowing, but luckily it's a wet day, so it doesn't matter. I repainted the kennels. Yeah, I'll see if I can insert like maybe a picture to what they looked like before and what they look like now. So they look all nice now. I painted them all grey. And then we've got the. I'm really annoyed though because take you guys with me. Annoyed because I got these new hatches. Cedar! No, I'll put you inside. I got these new hatches and they should, so if you look at the adult dogs ones, they're all nice. They're all nice black. And then if you look at the ones where there is a puppy inside, Cedar, come here, look it in. if you look at the ones where there's a puppy inside, there is damage. There is damage. It's damage. So the worst puppy award goes to Ragnar. I filled up my water, and then I've just got my disinfectant. So that's all done. Disinfectant, you can see it's all soapy, and then chuck it around the walls. And then I have this little brush, which I need a new one, and you can tell how much I use it to scrub. And I just kind of go over any like bits that have like, these guys are actually fairly clean, but like see like that bit there, just to make sure that it looks a bit nicer. Some of it is like marked on, like obviously I don't know how old these kennels are. These were here when we got here. But it just means that it looks a bit nicer. So when I chuck the disinfectant over, I just go over the walls to Thor. Those of you that don't know, so when you're a gamekeeper, you are given your property. So the property doesn't belong to us, will never belong to us. It's part of my husband's job. So obviously we've not been here very long. Obviously we like want to take care of it, and you take pride in your home, and we treat it like our home. Chris is very much used to it. He's been in this industry a long time. I'm not. I owned a house up in Scotland. I bought my first house when I was 21. Once that was sold, I moved in with Chris. Well, actually, I moved in with Chris before it was sold. But yeah, so I'm just used to like normal life. When I was paying rent, the goal was always to own a house, whereas now, like, there's no point because we live on the estate, and we live in a house that is provided with Chris's job. So we're very lucky because the property that you get is usually very rural because of the nature of the job. It usually comes with kennels, which is really good. I actually had planning to build kennels at my old house, and it wasn't very straightforward. It was sort of when I bought the house, I bought like an extra plot of land next to it, and that was going to be where I was going to build some kennels. So you want to tweak stuff and make your house your home, but any money that you put into the property is you're not going to get back because you're not putting it into a property that you own. Technically it is renting because it's part of the package, like the wage package. I've forgotten the term, but yeah, it is your home, and you could be in it for 30-40 years plus, you know. Hopefully that is the goal. That is what everybody wants. And every place you go to, obviously you move for your career, and we came here because it was a career progression for Chris. We don't plan on going anywhere else. This is hopefully where we stop. So if we're here till, you know, retirement, then hey, leave my pile of leaves, then it's going to be our home for a long time. So we have ideas, we have things that we want to do, and it's prioritizing them, and also making sure that it's it's allowed and it's acceptable. So I wanted to know a little bit about the keeper and lifestyle. You usually get property. That is the truth of it. You know, I did not buy these kennels. I did not pay for them. I was saying before about them being, you know, spruced up and stuff, but I didn't have to pay for them. So yeah, I do have obviously I run my business from here, so I have my own sort of contract dealings with the estate that we live on, so that they're aware of my job and they're aware of what I do, and we have our own separate deal, if that makes sense, but that's nothing to do with like the keeper in job. But yeah, so the kennels kind of automatically come with, so if you're a gamekeeper, or obviously most gamekeepers need working dogs anyway. I have them. I have my own. When me and Chris met, I had my own, he had his own, they joined together, and now we've obviously expanded. But yeah, so most gamekeeper houses come rural and they come with kennels because they need working dogs too. But yeah, we're very fortunate. I do really like our house. I see a lot of potential. It's just, like I said, making it our own, and just little things as you go through, you see different things that you're like, oh, I could benefit from that. So would be that we want to put in a path down here. So again, like, that's all something that we would do with our own money. And so we want to put a path in so you can see where the dogs have like worn it. Use this area, so it was like a muck heap, and Chris like tidied it all up and moved it all out so that we could use it. It was really handy for us, just because where we walk our dogs, obviously we've got a lot of dogs, there is like a muck heap there. Yeah, I just found it easier to have like a little poo paddock, because that way I'm always on top of like the dog mess. There's like a muck heap, so where the old muck heap was, Chris has moved it so it's like not like in our garden, because we didn't really like that, so we've moved it like over the other side, and then we just put the poo on there, so it's great. It's out of the way, none of the other keepers have to deal with it, we don't have to deal with it. It is on, so it's like behind the pen, like out of the garden, so we have like our own garden. So this is like a little garden here, and I usually let my clients like go to the toilet here, because it's just easier access, and the house dogs go to the toilet here, but all of the other dogs go to the toilet through there. And it's just really easy. It's easy to manage. It means that I can say, right, I'm having an hour poo picking in the poo paddock, rather than if I walk them out into this. So I'll maybe give you a bit of a tour. No, like just circles when I'm walking, and I absolutely hate it. So there's obviously like these fields as well. Just go out there and then go to the toilet all over, and then if I want to go and poo pick, then I've just got massive fields to poo pick. Training there as well, and I have clients coming there, and it's just not the easiest to manage. So we have a poo paddock. So what I was saying was, I want to do like a path down there. So what I like about a wet day is that I don't have to use my squeegee, because I don't want it really dry, because it's going to be wet anyway, so I don't have to be too bothered. It cut me off again because it's playing up again with my iPhone thing. But basically I was saying, normally I use my squeegee. I still haven't turned my lights off. Normally I use my squeegee, but because it's already wet and I don't need it to be super dry, I'm going to use my brush, which is better for getting all the hair up. Whereas the squeegee doesn't pick it up, because it's not the easiest of flooring for like getting bits of hair, and I'm really particular about that as well. I like all of the bits to be off of the floor, and drain away. So another reason why I like doing this kind of job on a wet day is just because I'm not then too bothered about whether it stays wet or not. So I'll just use my brush to get rid of all the dirt and hair and stuff, and brush it all up, and then you can see like all the hair that's under there. hairdo. Yeah, some days I either don't do my full clean because I don't need to, or if I am doing a full clean and it's a dry day, then I'll use the squeegee and then go over it with the brush. It just takes quite a bit longer. Brush the rest out, and then that's the dog's done, and then I need to poo pick this bit because that hasn't been done either, which is fine. But yeah, I like to keep the areas where the dogs go to the toilet like confined, so it's easy to just poo pick it, because we have the other keepers come, and like sometimes like shoot day staff and like the beaters sometimes come to the shed. Like we have the option for the beaters to come to the shed and get a tea and coffee and some port, which is nice. Well, we've just got some port. I was saying to the agent that we need port. They didn't have port, which is just a must on a shoot day. Just a little tipple of port or sloe gin on a winter shoot day is just needed. Many days I've spent sorting out the game larder and just finishing off the bottle of port when my old boss used to drive us home. It was great. Little things like that make the shoot days. So the beaters can come here and they can have, like, there's a heater, and they can have teas and coffees and some port, and obviously their lunch, they'll bring their lunch, and then the pickers up, as you've probably seen on my videos, we have our own vehicles, so we'll just stay in there for lunch, or if it's a nice day we obviously stand out and chat. But yeah, we tend to go where the guns go, but we don't obviously have lunch with the guns. They have their own sort of social catered bit. Just don't want it messy. I don't want beaters and staff and the other keepers to come to the house and be like, oh, there's a dog poo there. So I just don't tend to let my dogs go for a walk out. But when I train out there, it's easy because I'll be like, oh, dog's gone to the toilet, I'll just grab my poo bucket and then go and get it after. They just them go in a confined space, and it's easy to poo pick. Takes me back to my days poo picking like for my horse, but it was easy to find the horse poo. It's not easy to find the dog poo. That's the dog's done. I'm now into normal human clothing, away to go into town to pick up some bits for Christmas, and then when I get back I'm wanting to hopefully train my puppies. Hopefully I've got enough time before it goes dark, and then get on with cleaning the house, because that is a needs must this time of year, really, after being away for a week and also on the run up to Christmas. So that is the plan for the rest of the day. I swear, when you're a dog training, you get changed more than anything. And now my doggy gear again. My outdoorsy gear again. I'm back just in time to potentially get some dog training with the pups, so that'll be good. I'll try and video some. So, Norse first, because I think he needs the most. This will be the first time. This will be the first time that he has done any training outside of the garden, so I like to keep things really simple for them, low distractions, set them up to win, make it again just quite simple. So here I'm just working on some simple heel work and heel transitions. He's not being treated, by the way, just in case it looks like he is. All rewards that I give are purely just affection, so just giving him a rub under the chin with my hand or from my voice. And then here I'm working on a come in command and just getting him to think a bit more rather than rushing and barging towards me. then I'm working on memories with him. I think he's done this once before, so you can see he's pulling back. So just trying to work through this and move him on to this as his next stage. So Rune has already done some memory retrieves, so she's on to double memory retrieves, so 2 dummies. You can see the speed she flies out at and then back in. She is just so like her dad, Thor. Unfortunately, my phone starts playing up again and it does cut this short, so a bit frustrating, but yeah. And by the time we moved on to Ragnar, the elements had got the better of us and the rain had distorted my camera. But he was doing some memory retrieves as well. I actually moved him on to 4 memory retrieves, and that's the first time he did that, and I was very, very, very pleased with him. I don't know how much it recorded before because my storage is just being a nightmare. If anyone knows, I'm just cooking tea. If anyone knows how to send all of your phone, like all of your photos and videos, because I have a lot of photos and videos on my phone anyway, because I have all of my client videos, I have all of my online client videos, I have all of my training videos, anything that residents have had, and I try and keep them for a while because it's good to go back to when I have them come back to me. So yeah, I buy a lot of iCloud storage. Like I'm sure I'm paying like £20 a month for my iCloud storage or something like that. And it's telling me I've got loads of it available, but it's not saving it onto there. So I'm just wondering why. If anyone can tell me why, that would be great. I'm cooking a chicken and stuffing mix with potatoes for my tea, if anyone was interested. Chris wanted mash, but I'm going to do roasties because I prefer it with roasties. It's really easy. You just chop up a chicken, mix in any sort of seasoning that you want, stuffing mix with gravy, and just cook it in that. And then roast potatoes and any vegetables basically. And I really like it. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite easy to do dinners that my dad used to do when I was a kid. Had a brilliant training session with all 3 of my dogs. So I just trained the pups today, not Cedar. So Norse will be coming up April, May, June, July. Yeah, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. He'll be coming up to 8 months now. But I don't really do a lot of training when they're puppies because I really, really want them to be like keen for it rather than bored of it. I'd rather them be desperate for it than really not interested. So I probably would rather do less than and risk doing too little than risk doing too much. Any one of the 3 of them, I've not really done too much. I've tried just not to overdo it, especially important with the Vizslers. And I feel like it's a little bit more important to do that with the Golden Retrievers than the Labradors as well. Labradors tend to be a bit more forgiving and kind of obviously very stereotypically will just want to do things for you. Rune is very, very much like her dad. I actually had such a good session with Rune. Oh, she was amazing. She is like at that point now. I went through a difficult phase with Thor where, because this line, I had Thor's mum as well. I trained Thor's mum for one of my old bosses. So I had her for
quite a while, like 18 months or something. It's a bit too, like, almost overwhelmed sometimes by her own self. And Thor was quite similar, probably even more so than Millie. And Rune is, again, very similar. So I love that though. I kind of go through a bit of a phase where I'm like, oh, calm down, settle down, like think about what you're doing. But once they come out of that, like, it's almost like when you just start advancing them on and they know that there's more to it now, and then they start overthinking, get too excited, and then it all just gets a bit messy. But I've had maybe 2 sessions like that, and now she's like ready to go. So that was amazing. That was the best session I've ever had with her. She was absolutely flying, so like her dad. Like, anyone who knows Thor just knows he is some dog. An amazing dog. He's got a lot about him. And I'm so pleased because it looks like Rune is going to be the same. And Ragnar, bless him, he has been the easiest Vizsla to train so far. And whether it's because I've now trained quite a few of them, I don't know. But I just feel like he's so easy. Move you guys over here now. So yeah, basically with Ragnar, I'm just really enjoying him. I just find him such a pleasure to train, whereas my other 2 Vizslas, I mean, Ada was fine, but wasn't. I had a lot to learn with Ada. You know, this is 5 years ago now, and she was the first Vizsla I've ever had, and I think she was the first HPR I ever had and trained. Yeah, she will have been. Made a lot of mistakes with her, and she is the sort that definitely reminds me of it, which is fine. Again, that's all part of the learning. And Alka was a lot easier. And to be fair, Alka was really easy to train, but I feel like Ragnar just gives me so much. Like, he just, I don't know, I've got a really good bond with Ragnar. Like, the Vizslas are always usually Chris's. Hopefully this works long enough for me to finish this vlog, because I feel like this has been the most stressful vlog ever. It's just not allowed me to video for very long at all. I deleted 25,000 photos over the course of today, and I know that sounds like a lot, but I had 55,000 photos and videos on my phone. Apologies for the fact that I sound really wheezy, by the way. I've hoovered and I'm really allergic. Like, it sounds really funny to say I'm allergic to hoovering, but I am. I'm so allergic to dust. It's been very stressful. I just wanted to film a back home, back to normal life, Christmas prep, dog time kind of thing today. Hopefully when I edit it, it isn't terrible. As terrible as what I feel like it's going to be, because every time I've looked at my phone, it's just said, storage full. Apologies if it seems a bit messy. I've really enjoyed my day though, and again, I just hope that shows in the vlog. The feeling of just pottering about home, no pressure, like guilt-free. When you run your own business, your work is 24/7, 7 days a week, and any time, no matter what time, you're not working, especially when you function like I do. You just have this guilt, and there's something about Christmas time and taking designated time off that is just guilt-free. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed me being back to normality and back to just a normal, everyday, country life, dog life kind of thing. I don't see you before now on Christmas. Have a wonderful Christmas. We are a week away from it now, so it's coming up fast. I feel like because I've had a holiday, it's like speeding up.